G'day everyone and welcome to the video. Today is a beautiful day. Marvel Rivals has just released, and of course, maybe a lot of us are wanting to know who is the best of the best. Who are the characters or heroes you should be playing, prepping up for this upcoming ranked mode. Maybe you just want to excel with a character in quick play itself. This is going to have every type of class covered: Vanguard, Strategist, and of course your Duelist. So strap in, get ready, grab some popcorn, like, subscribe, and comment. That would be greatly appreciated, and let's get into it. Now, another hero that I've played quite a bit of and didn't really enjoy a lot, so we're going to have her in the C tier, is Storm. Storm to me is in a weird spot at the moment. Seems to be that you don't know whether she does a bit of healing, does a bit of damage, does a bit of nothing. Feels super slow in the air as well. She just doesn't really cover the basis of anything. It's just feels a bit clunky to me. Although Storm's ultimate is vastly amazing and superior, it takes so long to get to that, and she feels kind of useless in team fights. Again, that is Storm in the C tier. Now we're taking ourselves all the way to the B tier. Yes, next notch up, and we're going to start with an angry one. Yes, it is the Hulk. Hulk comes to us looking great, but really lacking a lot. I would say that Hulk seems to be just a bullet sponge, although having a leap ability is cool, doesn't seem to do as much as what the other Vanguards offer. And at the moment, I think we will see Hulk have a bit of a buff come through, possibly in the next patch. Moving on, in the B tier, we have Namor. Now, Namor has the ability to do a lot of damage, although I think with what we can see in Marvel Rivals at the moment, there are certain heroes that are just easy to do damage and are strong, and then you have heroes like Namor where the difficulty is high. And yes, if you master someone like Namor, it can work out and he can do things here and there, but he doesn't feel as strong as the other characters in the game. So we're going to be having Namor at B. Now, next was a bit of a tough one for me. I was close to putting Rocket Raccoon to A. I think Rocket Raccoon, in terms of healing and what he can offer, just doesn't meet the requirements and can't really stand up to the other healers in the game at the moment. Not to say he is the worst healer. He can definitely put some work in, some cool abilities. The res is awesome, but I just feel like there's better in terms of Rocket Raccoon. Next one is, I think, maybe a bit of a contentious one, because I've actually gone and put Loki in the B tier. Now, the reason I've put Loki in the B tier is because of the skill gap. He just requires so much knowledge. You need to make the right decision. You can place so many illusions down. You can trick yourself at times. And I think in the right hands, Loki could easily be an A S tier, but where he sits currently, I don't think as a healer, he will be doing too much. He sits currently in the B tier. I think he has room to improve, and I think in the right hands, though, he can be a powerful character. Next, we have Thor. Thor seems to be in a bit of a weirdish spot. I would say that I've versed Thor a lot of times, and he feels like an easy target. He can overextend and then sort of not do much. I think Thor, although he can sort of be your off tank, it's not good enough. I think there's much better picks than Thor. I don't like where he is at the moment. Sometimes his ultimate just doesn't do anything. It can be really misused, and I don't like that about Thor. So for me, Thor sits in the B tier. Now, our next one, and I think this is going to be a map-based character. I think this character or hero can definitely go into the A tier, possibly even the S, but I would say more likely the A tier is Moon Knight. Now, for me, I've seen do some crazy things. I'm actually not liking the ultimate as what I thought from the videos and from the trailer. I think it's okay in a capture the point scenario, not a payload, in my opinion. I think map-wise, this is where he's going to excel, where maps have a lot of choke points and certain maps have little narrow choke holes where he can really use his abilities and then demonstrate his strength. But for now, Moon Knight will sit in the B tier. Now, next but not least is Black Widow. Black Widow to me seems like a bit under par, to be honest. A lot of flankers in this game, a lot of heroes that just get to the backline and disrupt it, and that is not what Black Widow likes. Although she can just sit back and shoot, it's not always, and a lot of the times, 90% of the time. It's not going to be just a one-tap headshot. She really can't do much else besides that. The kit is more like, if you don't touch me, I'm going to punish you, but sometimes she just doesn't punish you. She just sits there. Generally, there's always a Spider-Man. There's always an Iron Fist. There's always a Psylocke. So I think that's going to be the hard part for Black Widow. She's just not going to have a fun time. And the jump is cool, but she doesn't jump as crazy as like a Spider-Man or anything like that. It doesn't fly in the air like an Iron Man. So for me, Black Widow sits in the B tier. Cloak and Dagger is interesting. For me, still sits in the B tier. I don't think Cloak and Dagger meets and comes up to the par of other basic strategists, to be honest with you. I do think there's a lot to learn with Cloak and Dagger. Very cool design in my opinion, but at the moment I think Cloak and Dagger is maybe just a wait and see. I could be completely wrong on this, but for now, B tier is where Cloak and Dagger will sit. Now last for us in B tier is Scarlet Witch. Now I would say that out of all the heroes in the game, there's most probably two that I'd like to call noob killers. One is Scarlet Witch and the other is most probably Black Widow, because if you don't touch Black Widow, she's going to sit there and shoot. But Scarlet Witch for me is someone that I just think in higher ranks, in a realm where it's competitive, she's not going to do as much, but in your casual game where you come across maybe newish players or noobs, she's going to dominate. At the moment, Scarlet Witch is in the B tier. Let's move on to the A tier, and we're going to start off with most probably one of the most best A tier choices is Punisher. Now, back before release, Punisher would have been S tier. Some things changed. He sits A tier, a very nice pick. I think when bans and everything happens, you're going to see Punisher be picked up a lot. I think because of bans happening, like certain S tier characters and S plus tier characters I'm going to mention, they will be banned and Punisher will be left. So that is a good sign. I think Punisher fits very well into the game at the moment, can do a heap of things, very, very versatile. If you haven't played Punisher and you're a Duelist player, I would definitely recommend picking him up and having a go. Now, next is my main, someone who I've played my most games on is Adam Warlock. I'm not going to be biased and throw Adam into the S tier, although I do think at points he could reach that, but where Adam Warlock lacks is just the ability to have no mobility. So when you're versing your Iron Fists, your Spider-Mans, everything like that, it's very hard for Adam Warlock to be useful in that point because he has no jump away, he has no mobility to get away, but he does have very good burst healing, and his ultimate to me is one of the best in the game. The revive is just so huge. If you play behind walls, pillars, and you know the map very well, that's when Adam Warlock will be at his best. If you are a healer, I would definitely recommend learning Adam Warlock, because even though he's not the strongest healer, you will see some possible bans coming through, maybe of 1 or 2 healers. I doubt it, but it could happen, and we always want to have a backup. Next in the A tier is Hela. Now, Hela is the sniping queen over Black Widow. I would say if you like playing Black Widow and you like hitting headshots, just play Hela and you'd most probably do better. You'd most probably facilitate the team more, and you'd be more of a nuisance than Black Widow. Hela is the sniper's dream. If you are good at aiming and you want to destroy people, pick Hela. That is your pick. Hela sits in the A tier. Next, someone who we adore, Tony Stark. Yes, it is Iron Man. I think deserves the A tier. I don't think you can just put Iron Man in the B tier. I think that's too low. His ultimate is ridiculous. At the right time, his ultimate just literally wipes. It's jaw-dropping. Although he can get countered, so can a lot of heroes. So it happens. I mean, but he's just so strong. The only bad thing is his main use is when he's in the air, just like a Pharah from Overwatch. But it is what it is. I mean, he can just do a lot of things, and I feel like a good Iron Man will know how to use the versatility well. But for me, Iron Man is in the right spot in the A tier. Next is someone you are going to absolutely love. I think he's a fan favorite for Marvel Rivals, and it's Jeff. Jeff has rose up the ranks. He was very bad prior to release, but now he actually feels good. I've actually had a multitude of games with Jeff. He can do so much. I think he's going to be a situational heal pick, because not only can his heal very quickly. His bubbles are good for himself. He can then damage negate with going underground. Although he's still targetable, I don't think we're going to see Scarlet Witches being picked if there's a Jeff. And his ultimate is ridiculous. In my opinion, Jeff's ultimate is top maybe 4 in the game. The fact that if there's a payload overtime, if there's a capture overtime, and he can just swallow up all the enemies, take them off the point, that's it, game over, is ridiculous. I think the one thing I don't like about Jeff is most probably he feels very weak in terms of, again, if someone jumps on you, the only thing you really can do is go underground, and it feels a bit clunky just throwing bubbles on the ground to heal yourself when you panic and everyone's aiming you, or 3 people are aiming you. So he does feel a bit clunky in that sense. The bubbles are meant for your team. I don't think he's going to be the best healer, but he's definitely in a good spot and I enjoy playing him. He's super fun. Next in the A list is someone who could easily be in the S tier list, I think, if they have their team up ability, is Magneto. Magneto's team up ability is so good, and I think the problem is he loses so much value when he doesn't have it. Although he feels great, the shields feel good, has this Zarya feel to him with a bit of Sigma. One thing I personally don't like about Magneto, I think his ultimate is a bit lackluster. I feel like, especially for his design, just throwing one comet, it feels like it's just the Accretion Rock from Sigma as an ultimate. I mean, that's just me, but I think he could have a cooler ulti. He could possibly, they could introduce something new. We don't know. But Magneto for me sits in the A tier. Next is Doctor Strange. Now, this guy is super cool. The reason why I actually think Doctor Strange could be very close to S tier is because of his portal. There's no other move in the game that's close to it. And I think in a competitive scene, we're going to see how effective that portal is. You can literally take high ground against the team. You can do so many things, flank as a 6 people. It's actually quite crazy. So I think that's going to be very cool. I think his ultimate is, again, most probably close to being top 6 in the game. I would definitely put it. It does a lot of work. His shield is awesome. His kit's really good. He just feels great, and I think he's the most certain A tier out of all of them. So Doctor Strange, you are in the A tier. Next in the A tier is Star-Lord. Now, Star-Lord to me can be so inconsistent. One game you're playing with the Star-Lord that's doing nothing. The next you're versing a Star-Lord that is absolutely obliterating you. And it feels like in the right hands, Star-Lord can do so well. But compared to other duelists, compared to other characters I've seen, Star-Lord to me feels okay in the A tier. I didn't really want to put him in the B tier. I thought that was too discouraging. But at the moment, Star-Lord is sitting nice and bright in the A tier. Next in the A tier, I think this is a very smoky hero. And what I mean by smoky hero is in the right hands, if you put 10 to 20 to 50 hours into this hero, you can dominate, and that's Captain America. Captain America has a really interesting kit. His survivability is awesome, and it just feels so damn good when you jump on someone's head and you just start swinging away with the shield. They try and get away and you throw your shield. His kit's really good. He's very durable. I think at the moment A tier is good, and he's definitely not B tier because he can do so much work in the right hands, and especially at the moment he's so durable. So for me, Captain America sits in the A tier. Next is someone who I think can be a D tier hero if you can't hit any of these shots, but that is Hawkeye. Now, Hawkeye, I played a bit of Hawkeye. He hits hard. Now, out of all the heroes that hit, Hawkeye can definitely hit the hardest. He has the ability to really put some hard damage in. However, I don't think he's in the top 3, top 4 duelists. No, I think his ultimate is really cool, although it feels like a different style of a Star-Lord ultimate. It's like giving you auto aim, but you got to aim to do it, so it's like not that. Hawkeye for me at the moment, the design is cool, the hero is cool. Really interested to see if he gets played a lot in ranked and sort of the numbers on that. But at the moment, Hawkeye sits in the A tier. All right, so in the A tier, this is a bit of a contentious one, but I feel like this is the right spot for Black Panther. Although he can be super weak in the wrong hands, he can be absolutely annihilating in the right hands. I'm talking about people like Necros and Samido playing this character only shows how high his potential is. However, I don't want to put Black Panther in the S+ or S tier because I think a lot of people will play him and struggle. all. So I think it's safe to say that this character, although he can be very, very strong, he can also be super, super weak. He has sort of Spider-Man-esque vibes to him in terms of skill, gap, and strength. So I'm just going to put Black Panther in the A tier. Next is a new hero. Again, I think this tier is great for Wolverine. At the moment, of course, Wolverine has just come on to play, so we don't have a lot of information on Wolverine, but I don't know whether he can be considered like a proper main Vanguard tank. I know he's got a bit of a bruiser feel to him, and it's very interesting where these bruisers sit, these sort of Wolverines, Captain Americas, who are a bit different to like your Magnetos, etc. It's going to be very interesting to see where Wolverine sits. I think Wolverine is someone that will, in the right hands, again, be very good. However, I don't know if he just cuts it at the moment. Again, I don't want to speak too much on this because I could be completely wrong or I could be completely right, but I feel like at the moment, A tier is perfectly situated for Wolverine. In the A tier, we have next someone who I think in the right hands is Thanos, is S+++ tier, but in the worst hands, you're playing a 5v6, and that is Spider-Man. So I've said to myself, just put Spider-Man in A tier. He's good. I think Spider-Man has most probably the hardest mechanical learning out of all the heroes in Marvel Rivals. He's swinging, he's going in for combos, he's swinging back out, and what you'll find in Marvel Rivals, if you haven't played it yet, is that there isn't a huge amount of CC, which is crowd control. And this is where heroes like Spider-Man thrive. You go in, do a little combo and then back out, swing into the roofs. And if you know where your health potion spots are, you go back up, boom, done, and go back in again. So for me, Spider-Man, if I'm versing like a top 50 Spider-Man in the world, it's going to be scary. They're going to know what to do, and you're going to have to be playing the right strategists against Spider-Man because they will wipe the back line. That is for sure. Next was a very tough one. I haven't seen too much gameplay. I'm going with the safe bet. Squirrel Girl, I've heard some things, busted, not busted, okay. Not a lot of information. For right now, Squirrel Girl is going to sit in A tier. We'll get more information, more knowledge about that as the game progresses, but for right now, Squirrel Girl sits in A tier. Now, last but not least in A tier, and this is something that I've seen that goes from B tier to S tier to A tier, is Groot. The one thing I like about Groot is that Jeff has become better. The fact that Jeff has become better, I think we're going to see a lot of people play Jeff, which makes Groot a bit more viable because of the team up synergy. Because Jeff was really bad, I don't think people were going out of their way to play Jeff and Rocket Raccoon, so that makes Groot not as good. Now, I don't want to base the tier list just off team up abilities, but I think what Groot does, most probably his best ability is just the walls and blocking off certain things. He has great survivability. Although his left click feels a bit weird, clunky, it is what it is. He's definitely not the best Vanguard, but A tier feels right to me. I don't think he's a B tier. I really don't. I just feel like he's good. He's chunky. He's funky. He's fun. He's hard to get through, which is what a Vanguard should be. And the ultimate is cool as well. It can do a lot of work. So Groot is our final hero in the A tier. Now we're moving up into where things get meaty. This is the S tier. Of course, we have the S+ tier as well. Now, for the S tier, I'm going to start with two heroes here, and they are both strategists. I think you are going to see this combo in high tier competitive be run a lot, and that is Luna and Mantis. Both of these heroes are great. I actually can't say that one's better than the other. I think they both serve their purposes. Both ultimates are amazing. Both characters are amazing, and the combo of them two together feel really good. I would say that S tier is a great spot for them. I've seen some things say that Mantis is a lot stronger or a bit stronger. I just think they're even. They're a great combo piece. They're two really strong healers. I really like Luna's ulti, to be honest with you. So we're going to have those two in the S tier. All right, next I want to talk about this Vanguard. This Vanguard is very underrated in my opinion. In the right scenario, in a double tank composition, and this is your off tank, it is super strong, but just in general, Penny Parker. We're going to have Penny Parker in the S tier. Now, if you haven't played Penny Parker and you've versed Penny Parker and you know how annoying Penny Parker is, I think you're going to agree with this. I think it's very safe to say that Penny Parker has a kit that will make you want to quit the game sometimes, because sometimes she's just literally unkillable. There's so many mines, and I think she is a bit map situational, but at the moment, from what I can see, Penny Parker is literally doing solid work in the Vanguard section. I definitely think she's stronger than Hulk, Thor, Captain America. She's got range, she's got close control. There's a lot about Penny Parker that's really annoying, really strong, and I think for now S tier is where I will have Penny Parker. Someone who I think is one of the most annoying duelists, Magic just does so much work, really hard to kill and really high damage. I think Magic, you're going to see a lot of play from her in competitive play. She just does a lot of things. She can be super annoying. Next and last in the S tier is we have the last Vanguard, Venom. Venom seems to be a kind of like a must-have in every team. I feel like when you don't have a Venom and you're versing a Venom, you feel the difference straight away. I couldn't put Venom in the S+ tier, but for me, he is just a really strong Vanguard pick. I think you're gonna see a lot of Venom, Doctor Strange, possibly Magneto, but a lot of Venom, Doctor Strange combos. It feels like it's leading to a 2-2-2 where it's 2 tanks, 2 duelists, 2 healers. That's what it's looking like. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, Venom sitting at the S tier looks awesome, sounds awesome, the abilities are cool. So yeah, Venom in the S tier. Let's move it to the last tier, but this is the best tier. We have 3 heroes left for the S+ tier. These 3 heroes will wreak havoc on you if you don't control them. To be honest with you, they can't be controlled, especially this one, Winter Soldier. Oh my god. If you want to pick up 3 duelists, if you're a duelist player, all these are duelists. Winter Soldier is your go-to. I think you'll see him banned a bit if they don't nerf him soon, which I think they will, but Winter Soldier S+ tier, try it out if you haven't tried him out. Very strong. The next one is a new addition. This guy is absolutely insane. Iron Fist. If you can just line up a nice flank, you can't be stopped. I've been Iron Fist 1v3ing people, and that is without my ultimate, and still somehow either getting a kill, getting a trade, and it's just insane. He tanks so much damage. I feel sorry for every strategist player that has to come up against an Iron Fist that is just in their face. Jeff, Adam Warlock, us strategist players, when an Iron Fist is in our face, we're likely dead. We're likely gone if we don't get help. So help us, please. Okay, last but not least, I think this is the most broken, crazy, cool, annoying hero in the game at the moment, and that is Psylocke. Psylocke does everything. She's so mobile, so quick. The ultimate is so annoying. Top 3 ultimate. I don't care what you say. She's really strong. If there is a hero, if you're a duelist player that you want to play and haven't played, it's Psylocke. Really cool design, very broken, almost has a Master Yi-like ultimate as well. It's really strong and very annoying, and it charges up quick from what I can see. I mean, I've seen Psylocke do a lot of work, but Psylocke for me at the moment is just a mayhem to deal with. I hate versing Psylocke. But that is the tier list. That is the Marvel Rivals launch tier list, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think below. Again, this is just my opinion, guys. Let me know what you think. Maybe you think I'm completely wrong on a hero and they're broken, or a broken hero I've said is actually not that strong. Let me know in the comments below if you're enjoying the game. Who are you maining as well? Let me know in the comments below. That would be great. It's curious to see what people are loving and who they like to play. Like, subscribe. It's a brand new Marvel's Rivals channel. We're here. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Enjoy.